Good morning, everybody. This is the Bart Winkler Show, or that's what it was. It's into the Winklerverse in this format. Paul Emmig is here and Graham Bills. Great to be with you guys on might be a little truncated episode, but I think the numbers say people dip out after 27 and a half minutes anyway. So we will fulfill that duty. There will be free agency. I'll do something draft related. I still got to go through and vote for my Packers shareholders thing. So, of course, I'll make content out of that. So, I just, people have been asking where the pod has been. It's 2 to 3 times a week. It doesn't know. I don't know what days of the week it is. It's when the content is there. I think we will do a hiatus for July, just with it being kind of, I just don't want to do 4 hours of Brewers consecutively the course of a month, but we'll still talk to these nerds when available. All right, so Paul, take it away.
All right, so the Bucks did not land Mikal Bridges somehow. Gee, I wonder how not, but maybe because they don't have 5 first-round picks to trade. But they do have a Brook Lopez, and there are some Brook Lopez trade scenarios out there. I'm not going to present any original.
Oh.
So my thought, well, not original as in that I didn't create them because I don't like getting the hate feedback.
Oh, wait, I like being over here on the Schani.
There you go. It's like, well, what a dumb idea that was from Paul. It's like, it wasn't mine. It was a blog one that. So you guys, if you want to have a conversation that I could perhaps interject in, if you have any material, I thought there might be breaking news.
Okay.
Maybe.
Great. Me?
Yeah.
All right. So there was this night in college that a girl came over and we were in the dark. And like, I don't even want to say we fooled around. We just like held each other's hands on my futon in the dark, but like vigorously.
Intimately.
Yeah, but the hands, it was like, I don't know if one of us were waiting to move a hand, but like, or if like the hand was so good.
Breaking news.
Oh, that was a true story. That was a true story, by the by. Paul, production Paul, what do we got?
I couldn't find other breaking news sound effect. There's one that had been previously used on your show, but that's not what's important. The important thing is the breaking Bucks trade news, and let's get back to your college stories here momentarily. The Milwaukee Bucks have just traded Brook Lopez and Pat Connaughton.
Wow.
Sure.
And a 2024 first and a 2020 and a 2031 first.
Oh.
For Brandon Ingram. From the Pelicans.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah.
Or I guess, yeah. I think this trade might even be illegal. I don't know. But
I don't think the Bucks can compare. I don't think they can pair guys up right now.
That's what I was saying. I think they can't aggregate it. But I still like I saw it the other day and I was like, I couldn't send it to you guys because I wanted to ask you here. But when I sent it to my other buddies, I said, like, fucking obviously, right? Like, if you can somehow walk away from, your 5th and 7th best players in some aggregated way and wind up with Brandon Ingram, like, that's ridiculous. I mean,
well, I think to the nature of the trade, what you're giving up is, whatever tradable assets you think you have. And then obviously the first, the picks. And the Bucks have traded away so many first round picks that they should do whatever they can. Like we talked about the window. I think Giannis is going to be here a long time. Like he might sign one contract somewhere else at the end. He might go back and play in Europe. Who knows? Do something like that. But I think that he is going to be here longer than Dame is.
Oh yeah.
Just based on age.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to win one with Dame. You got for the swing that you took.
Yeah.
For now that the fact that the Celtics did win with Drew, you got to win one with Dame. So I don't like, and I used to compete every year. Every year you got to go all, but it's not feasible.
Right.
It's not feasible to do that. You have to strike though when the iron is conceivably hot. So whatever moves they make, as long as it's with the intention of trying to win ASAP, I don't think that I would have any gripe with, even if we're getting 40 cents back to their 60s, so to speak. So yeah, I would, if that's possible. Which the NBA, this is so dumb. The apron, the second apron, even these trades last night, like the Mikal Bridges trade, I could understand, and I feel like quickly digest that information and then spit it back out.
Yeah,
I tried reading this Nets Rockets trade. I don't know what the fuck they even traded.
Yeah, they reacquire the pick that they traded to them in the first place in exchange for a swap with this, and that is going to enable.
Then because I know you can go, well, we have the 17 and you have the 13, but we have the right via a pick swap. But now there's pick swaps there's like 3-team pick swaps.
I know.
It's too much. So I guess I'm saying,
so I'm going to give you more
shockingly breaking news.
I'm going to give you a more realistic one here in a second. Grant, do you have any thoughts on this one that I think is illegal, but it was just so obviously duh to me that I almost didn't merit even bring it up. But any reaction to this one before I give you a more realistic one?
Well, Ingram would be what, their fourth offensive option in that scenario? That's pretty
third or fourth on the night, yeah.
Yeah, of course, depending, but he would be on a team with Middleton, Dame, and Giannis, which would be awesome. They would have to figure out in that scenario, they'd have to figure out a center. It doesn't even need to be a good one, but someone who can come in over the course of a regular season and 8 games. Probably not going to play a ton in the playoffs because Giannis would play the 5, but he can't do that the whole season. So that would be my only concern. I really like it. I just don't really know what Pat gives you other than 3-point shooting ability. And if he's not going to be great most of the time 3-point shooting, which he hasn't been, I like him. Champion. It was a huge part of that finals run, but that shooting hasn't really sustained. Also, this whole thing where Bart and I tell college stories and you interrupt is really funny, but that's mostly what the podcast is. We're treating it like it's a bit, but it's basically just what we do every week. Yeah. So it's kind of funny that we treat, hey, let's do this thing, even though that's really what we do the entire time.
It's what would have happened organically if not for the setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
this is a more efficient way to do, a more controlled way to do it, which I like.
Do we have any more stories that I should interject with, or should I give you a more realistic trade that I saw?
Did you say you wanted a center?
Yeah, sure. I think you would need one.
There you go.
Why don't we sign Thonmaker back?
Well, that's a loaded question.
For the same reason you don't sign Jabari back.
Why don't we sign them both back? I'm not kidding.
It would be good content. Yeah.
If you're gonna just have Marjan Beauchamp ride the pine,
should be Jabari.
The Bucks have been so good with the new ownership at reconnecting with the old eras, retiring Marcus, and why do we always have to reconnect with the old good eras?
I was going to say, do not put Thon. It wasn't an era. It was a pick that.
Why don't we reconnect with some of the shit? Really honor tradition. It's really.
Probably the 15, bring them all back from the 15-win season or whatever it is. Honor them at midcourt at halftime of a game. That actually would be funny.
What would you guys have said?
Put a Larry Drew statue outside.
What would you guys have said?
Part of our shared history. Yes, Paul.
Sorry. What would you have said? This is 2007-ish, 2008. What would you have said when the 8th seed chasing Bucks traded TJ Ford for Charlie Villanueva? Or that's a good deal for the Bucks. This positions them better or worse for the 8th seed.
Or I didn't like that Ford pick because Jordan made it.
You do have is it a theory on that, or
I don't know. I think it's not, but I can't find proof.
Yeah, you might have just had inside information. I do think though we should honor the Desmond Mason led Bucks more. The Michael Redd, Desmond Mason led Bucks. That's what I know Bucks basketball to be. This current era is weird with expectations and elite players.
I know it's fucking bizarre, isn't it?
Guys, there's a lot of people and this isn't a slight on anybody. There's a lot of people though whose first Bucks broadcast team is Lisa and Steve.
It's so strange.
That's what they started with.
Grant, who do you identify as Bucks? The Bucks broadcast team in Grant's mind is
Paschke.
And
Paschke and probably Marcus Johnson.
He's so young.
The NBA was not on in my household. Certainly not the Bucks. I completely stumbled into the NBA socially in middle school and high school, and it was all Derrick Rose, LeBron James, the Spurs. Like the Bucks sucked. I didn't even know they were on the same station as the Brewers. I watched Brewers by myself as a kid, but I didn't know that in the winter, then it was just that same station. That's where the Bucks games were.
The funny thing is like what NBA Jam was 93, Bart? Ish, somewhere like early 90s.
4 or 5.
And the Bucks roster on that game is as bad of a like 4-3, like 3-4.
What is it, Murdoch?
Well, I know Blue Edwards is on there. I don't think Murdoch is.
Who's the 2-player one?
We did this as a trivia question with Horvat back in the day, and
the NBA Jam at like arcade.
Yeah, exactly. Which
I'll look it up. NBA Jam teams arcade.
So it's Brad Lohaus and Blue Edwards.
Oh my God.
That was at least the arcade version. Brad Lohaus and Blue Edwards.
Yeah, I just found an article ranking the original NBA Jam duos, and I'm like, I wonder how. They're first. That being last.
They were ranked as the worst. I mean, how do you do worse than that?
Maybe you're reading. Oh no, it goes. No, you're reading this correctly. Brad Lohaus was one of the 54 players in NBA Jam. Was he a friend of one of the developers? I don't know. What I do know is that he appeared in 656 games over 11 seasons, but his inclusion was a puzzling one. This was a 28-win team. It might have been harder to pick, but you know who else is on that team? Moses Malone. Yes, what? He was 37 and a shell of the player, a 12-time All-Star and 3-time MVP, but he was still Moses Malone.
Oh, my gosh.
You have Moses Malone. Put him in a game.
Yeah. So apparently I didn't realize there were different rosters for different. So arcade was Lohaus and Blue Edwards. Game Boy.
Game Boy.
Was Vin Baker and Eric Murdoch.
Yeah, okay, I got Murdy.
So it depends on your version. I knew the arcade version.
Do you think there was a meeting? Like, how intense do you think the duo put together was? Where there was a developer who was like, I know that a lot of this room wants Moses Malone, but I think it is our duty to put Brad Lohaus into this game. And he's like nervous the night before. He's like, honey, I'm going to go in and pitch Brad Lohaus. And this could be the end of our sweet, sweet life where you and I both just graduated high school and have a $900,000 home. But
there you go. At least a modern day valued $900,000 home. So yeah, the Bucks did not used to have a very good roster.
According to Peter Bukowski, you could make $900,000 a year and probably still live paycheck to paycheck, depending on where you live. Did you see that, Paul? This is the funniest Twitter. Pete was swearing up and down the Twitter timeline that making $250K a year and living paycheck to paycheck is not only reasonable, but common for good reason. And I'm like, I just like arguing with Pete. It's fun. I didn't even really care, but he was just swear. Well, when you counter in taxes and student loans and $250K, it's gone like that. Like it's out the window. Anyways, sorry, we have limited time.
Well, hey, that sounds like classic mo money, mo problems.
Mm-hmm. Never something I'd have to worry about.
I mean, I'm broadcasting from a TAC board, so
I do remember.
I'm an executive producer, so maybe I should give myself more credit than I do.
Yeah, I don't like that the EP sounds cooler than host.
I'm the only producer.
He's the EP of the Bart Winkler show. What are you then? I'm the host. I'm the host.
No, I'm Bart Winkler. That's all.
No, I'm gonna say maybe I'll spin this tonight. I'm gonna say I'm the CHO. I'm the chief hosting officer.
CHO. Can you do the Mercedes Monet dance as you do?
I don't like her.
She's not my favorite either. Horvat told this story unprepared back in the day. He not only did he know like tons of it somehow, he knew the NBA Jam rosters.
He knew Delilah. Fuck the NBA Jam roster.
Knew Delilah.
He hit a home run in Little League off of MLB
Tanner Roark.
Tanner Roark. He then knew off the top of his head why Blue Edwards' nickname is Blue Edwards. I was like, I thought he was making it up. I later looked it up. I looked it up again just now to confirm, and he was right then. He's right now.
He was trying to get me to go to Dave with him on Friday at like 1:30 in the afternoon.
Good thing he didn't go Saturday.
He did.
Well, but I mean, he might have tried, but then he got.
Well, he was there. Yeah,
that's not fun.
No.
Oh, I want to know more about Blue Edwards and NBA Jam, but there's a breaking news trade.
What is it, Paul?
Brook Lopez traded.
Oh, no.
1-for-1. This trade is legal.
Oh, I love a 1-for-1.
For Marcus Smart. Good deal for the Bucks.
That's I don't know. That's like trading a shoe for a glove.
I don't exactly know what that means, but I kind of love it.
No, it means we need a pair of shoes.
Oh,
we already have gloves.
Do we?
Wait, yeah, how so?
Well, the gloves we have are like they have the little inseam to touch your phone.
Okay.
Those gloves don't work.
Marcus Smart glove is, it's a winter glove. You can shovel in it. But we need shoes.
You need shoes.
Well, we need the perimeter defenders to be able to play drop coverage that Brook Lopez is good at.
Right.
So
why don't we just play Giannis at the 5?
He has been unhealthy in the playoffs the last 2 years with other centers on the team. You want him to play center all year?
Tatum was playing at the 5. That make Giannis do it.
Yeah, against plumbers and firemen. Ain't no one gonna remember this postseason. He's
By the
also
way,
younger.
I almost did. But I don't think we've swore yet.
I think you're right.
So you think we could ride that out?
Why is that?
Fuck yeah.
You jackass.
Do you make more money?
I got a YouTube comment from one of these like 3 months ago, just today. Too much profanity.
I can stop.
By the way, Garrett Mitchell left today's game in Nashville grabbing his hamstring.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real. Are you watching the afternoon game here, Paul?
You can. I'm aware of the latest.
Oh.
Inside the park home run and all of it.
Yeah.
All right, here's my other one for you. Do you have any thoughts on Marcus Smart as opposed to gloves and shoes?
Is Dallas Keuchel still a Brewer by the All-Star break?
It's a minor league deal, right? So like they could option him, right? So if he's still a Brewer, can he be a Sound?
I thought it was pretty badass seeing him. I did. I was like, holy shit, this is Dallas Keuchel.
It is fun. Like if like Greinke would come back, like it's just like, oh no, they got shelled. Well, whoever else it would have been would have gotten shelled. At least it's someone we know.
But this is like it's gonna be like, remember Dallas? This is like Shaq in a Cavs jersey.
Yeah, it's like Andrew McCutchen. That was really fun when that happened too. That one.
No, that was Andrew McCutchen.
Well, when Andrew McCutchen's available, you go get him.
Any Marcus Smart thoughts? Otherwise, I got one for you.
I think it coming up short in the playoffs again would hurt worse because then Celtics fans would have another reason to shit on us, poop on us. So that would kind of suck.
Post.
And he's a good perimeter defender.
After the trade of acquiring Mikal Bridges, and let's assume they also retain Anunoby, the New York Knicks have the second best roster in the East. Essentially, they've surpassed the Bucks, the current roster of the Bucks. We don't know what the Sixers will do yet, so take it all at the present day of what each team has. But the Knicks today have a better roster than the Bucks do today.
I want to hear Grant first if he's so inclined, but I will tell you that the odds Celtics to win next year 3-1, Thunder 7-1, Mavs 7-1, 8-1, Nuggets 8-1. The Knicks went from 17-1 to 9-1, leaping the Bucks at 10-1.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think unless the Sixers get another star, and unless the Bucks do something wild, that they are number 2. But they're number 2 in a way that is like firm number 2. It's like, yeah, you're number 2, but you have no chance of knocking off number 1. I don't think. Whereas I think the Bucks or the Sixers might, because they can claim that they would have the best player in either one of those series, or even 2, depending on what Maxey does and depending on Giannis and Dame look like. They can claim maybe the 2 best players in that series. I just think the Knicks are trying to be the Celtics, like they're trying to do this, 5 starters, very equally balanced, but all 5 of their starters are worse than the 5 starters for Boston. So like number 2, sure, but like a firmly entrenched number 2, a stuck number 2, which isn't. I'm not trying to diss them. I'm just trying to be accurate about how their roster stacks up.
I want Bart to answer the question, but I got to quick ask Grant then this. If you were to combine the Knicks and Celtics roster and you could create the best starting 5 possible with the Knicks and Celtics rosters combined, who's your starting 5?
Well, Brunson, Tatum, Brown.
Brunson, Tatum, Brown.
Now what?
Anunoby, Porzingis?
Playing Porzingis at the 5?
Yeah. You think that's nuts?
I don't know. No Holiday for the
Randall.
Julius Randle's. I mean, I'm not a big fan either.
Sounds like Hartenstein's gone.
Yeah, he's probably gone.
Anunoby may not be gone.
See, that's one of those things. Like they would be any momentum. I think the Knicks deserve. And I mean, going into the next season, like the Knicks, I'm going to watch a lot of Knicks. Like I'm a Knicks fan. Like there's just no question. Like I'm a big fan of it. But if they don't retain Anunoby, it's kind of like if Middleton or Brook had left last offseason, the Bucks could not have replaced them. It's not like, oh, well, they lost Anunoby, but they signed X. If they can't resign Anunoby, they replace it with no one. So like they need to overpay him for better and for worse because you can't do anything else to supplement that money elsewhere other than like lessen your luxury tax. So they had better try to retain him.
I think they're the number 2 right now.
I do too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they have more, like even like of all those 3 teams, Giannis is the best. And Dame needs to be the second best for them to. So Dame needs to be better than Tatum and Brown and Brunson. Because the Knicks have put together like what the Celtics are. They're just 5-6 really good guys that's your top 6 that are a better top 6 than anyone else can have. And now the Knicks, I mean, if either of those teams play against the Bucks have the best player, but they have a better team. There's not like with all due, when the Bucks start Brook and Middleton and Giannis and Dame or Drew last year, their 5 now is who? Hart or Dante or Anunoby. I mean, their 5 is really good.
Yeah.
The Celtics 5 is Derek White, maybe.
Yeah.
Ours has been Grayson Allen or Malik Beasley or Pat Bev.
Yeah.
Or, some of these guys. So there's no like because I've learned long ago, you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Oh.
I do think it's back to
the chain can break at the weakest link.
I do think part of it is like when the Pistons,
which is another boat term, I think.
What is?
I shared a thing with Grant not long ago about basically every phrase that we use in business is from boats.
Really?
Can we think of any?
I feel like the expression
headwinds and tailwinds.
High tide raises all ships is being overused. I don't know who decided.
I'm overusing it. I've used it a lot.
That's a Bart.
I've used it a lot. All hands on deck.
Mm-hmm.
He's 3 sheets to the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Abandoned ship.
Mm-hmm.
We got to batter down the hatches.
Huh. Is it batten down?
No, batter down the hatches.
We got to sink or swim. We're dead in the water. We don't want to rock the boat.
Rock the boat.
That guy's a loose cannon.
Loose cannon.
At this company, we run a tight ship. There's a lot from boats.
Is this did you discover this?
No, I found a meme or a face or what are those fucking called?
Face match. Yeah, that's the one.
I found a porn star by face.
Grant, were you kidding when you said, is it batten down or batter?
No, it's definitely batten down the hatches.
Okay,
I was mocking you.
Okay, that's what I thought you were doing. But Bart was reading a list, so it wasn't even like off the top of his head. But how else would you use the word batten? Can you use batten in a sentence?
Do you have time to watch it quick?
Batten down the hatches. Can you watch it in 2 minutes when I bounce?
Yeah, fine. But I wanted to specifically show you.
Go ahead.
Go. We've seen it.
Yeah.
All right. The other two have seen it.
Go.
Yeah. Okay, it's gonna just take me 1 second here.
Hurry up. Hurry the fuck up.
If I just gotta, Donald, how do I do this? I'm just being an old woman. Ready?
Ready.
I don't think people realize how much of the English language is made up of sailing metaphors. By and large, there are phrases like by and large, which refer to either sailing by, meaning into the wind, or sailing large, meaning against the wind. Then you got all the business terminology because it's such a good teamwork metaphor. You want to run a tight ship by having everyone in your crew be on board so you can have all hands on deck. And this idea of smooth sailing gave us a lot of words for things in motion. Once a project is launched, like a ship, it's then said to be underway or making headway, like a ship, unless you suddenly decide to change course like you would in a ship. If something is unlikely to happen, it's said to be a long shot because early naval guns were only accurate at close range. If you have a little wiggle room, you have leeway, which was the amount that a ship could be allowed to drift to the side. And the English language is sort of unique in having all these words because it's fundamentally a sailing language spread by people on ships. They really did have to know the ropes, meaning that they had to know how to use the ropes of a ship, which is why we have so many rope metaphors. We jury rig things because sailors had to jury rig a ship. We check for loose ends because sailors had to go around and make sure everything was tied down correctly. And if they weren't, you might have a literal loose cannon, which is how we got the metaphor for unpredictable person. All these words still exist because of England's nautical culture 300 years ago.
Isn't that rule?
Can you please send me that?
I'm just watch this.
What?
Just watch this.
I just did.
No, watch the video we're creating, Paul.
Yeah. Oh, I have to reference. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
We're so meta.
Do you have to go?
I have to go. You guys enjoy. Talk more. Bart, you can see your wife a different day.
We'll tie up loose ends.
Yeah, I do want to tie up a loose end with Grant.
Bye, friends.
Goodbye, right. Paul.
Bye, Paul. So, let's act like Paul is the anchor of our friendship.
Like we're two guys whose girlfriends at the bar just went to the bathroom.
Yeah, like that. Oh, I'm gonna make you miss some of that. Sorry.
Yeah, you come to this bar a lot. It's a nice spot.
Yeah, I used to live around here, but this is the first time I've been in it.
I mean, I like the music's loud, but it's not too loud. We don't have to yell to hear each other.
Yeah. They just played. That guy just played Creed.
What?
They just played Creed. Do you like them?
Yeah, I love Creed. Remember when they played at halftime of the Thanksgiving, the Cowboys game?
I actually don't watch football. Okay, nice. There is one thing I want to.
Is there actually a loose end you want to cover?
Yes, I do. It's about the Cubs.
Oh. I've watched the second half of every Cubs game this week so far.
I would like to remind people first and foremost that we are brought to you in part by Happy Place Hemp. Happy Place Hemp, the promo code's Bart. Do you understand that you could put in the promo code and every time that you order, you get 25% off whatever you order, no matter if it's one product to try or if you do the Bart's biggest breakfast, which is ordering everything that they have. and then putting the gummies in a cereal bowl. I wouldn't recommend. Well, maybe put one in with your cereal and like chop it up. Regardless, that's not. Use it how you intend to. The drinks, dude. I'm telling you, the seltzers. Oh my god,
dude, I love THC seltzers. I know these aren't THC seltzers, but. THC, any stoner seltzers are.
No, they got THC seltzers.
It's a good thing pot's still illegal in this state. I'm glad that we're hanging on to that for some reason.
But then you can still get this stuff.
I know.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it's weird. It's the stupidest thing.
Well, I mean, it's good for them because they get to sell their product.
I suppose it is.
Yeah, happyplacehemp.com. Promo code Bart. Regarding the seltzer, there was something else I wanted to say.
The Cubs?
No.
Or about the seltzers directly?
I was still on hemp. I was still really specifically thinking about hemp.
You're hosting the show as if you're on hemp right now, so it doesn't surprise me.
I've been doing that since February to get through Paul's nonsense. Happy plays
The Bucks have made a trade. Can you believe it?
That guy. All right. Just kidding, Paul.
Of course. Kidding.
I just want to show you one tweet that I saw that made me feel things. I'm sure you've seen it. From 670 The Score.
I haven't seen this one today.
Our friends at
your friends.
I could play some of it, but basically the question's enough. It's Dan Bernstein and Lawrence Holmes, and the question is, do Cubs fans want the club to try to salvage the 2024 season or prioritize the longer-term future as the trade deadline looms in a month? And I've heard from a lot of Cubs fans that, oh, we suck. This is happening because the team is bad. This is as bad. Why? So if you have a bad team and you're trying to compete, isn't that why you pay a manager $8 million? And I know there's Counsell frustration. I see these, we all see the tweets where Cubs fans are like, what is this press conference?
Mm-hmm.
What is this shit? Meanwhile, Pat Murphy's telling fucking old wives' tales about who he's not texting.
He said that they were bringing up Joey Ortiz to him last night. And they're like, hey, was Joey Ortiz at the top of your list in spring training? He's like, I don't remember what happened 2 days ago. I certainly don't remember what went on in spring training.
You like Pat Murphy, the way he gives answers, it's like those NBA Central Twitter accounts, but Central spelled wrong. Because he said this, but I don't know if I can print it. I don't know if it's real.
Yeah.
He said this. He's saying a story, but I don't know if it's real. So I was just circling back on this to say that you have to salvage. It's an $8 million manager. You got him in here to do the things that David Ross could have done this.
Here's what's interesting is
what is Counsell's war right now?
I've watched the end of every Cubs game this week because they're on the West Coast, because they're entertaining. And then before I drift off into sleep, I read tweets. I search Cubs and I search Counsell and I read the tweets. And I've also been listening to a little bit of Locked On Cubs because it's funny.
You have?
Yeah. I'll send you clips. I have some good clips that I'm holding on to for a rainy day. So at the beginning of this year, and someone who comes on my show, we were texting about this. At the beginning of this year, there were all these articles written about Counsell joining the Cubs. And a lot of the premises behind some of these articles were he's more than a manager, right? Like he's brought in, let me read this. This is from a Ken Rosenthal story. He's doing it right, all right. From offering dissenting opinions on potential acquisitions to questioning the type of information the Cubs present on their proprietary database, Counsell is making an impact on virtually every part of the organization, not just raising questions, but providing answers. That was written right before the season started. So I don't know. All these Cubs fans are like, well, fire Jed. It's Jed's fault. Probably. The roster isn't very good, which we knew, and you guys thought this dog shit team would win the division anyways. But I think Counsell's a little more, I don't know. I think his impact is a little bit more wide-reaching than simply, and also, I've been listening to Parkins and Spiegel anytime they lose a stinker because I like hearing them whine about it. And they have Counsell on Mondays. I don't think it's every week, but every once in a while. And they ask Counsell, it's like, hey, your bullpen management, your late game management was so good in Milwaukee. And Counsell's like, I don't have a secret sauce. All I try to do is make consistent, non-emotional decisions based on data. And if I was a general manager or an owner that paid that guy $40 million, I'd be like, I would hope you have a little secret sauce. Like, I don't want to hear that guy say that. It's like, I don't know. I'm just like everybody else.
Why is he making it? Why is he making 8? And just because he went to the Cubs, we got all mad about it. Would they have given him $8 million if he was the manager of the Tigers?
I think I brought this up once upon a time. I'm not sure. I don't think so.
To fuck us and fuck with us.
I don't know. Now, this week, all the Cubs podcasts, I've been listening to Locked On Cubs and the CHGO. How do you pronounce that?
I think they pronounce it CHGO.
So I've been listening to that.
Otherwise, too. Chicago, but
but just spell it Chicago.
Well, no, it's their whole Denver is DNVR.
So do you call that Denver? Because Denver's the name of the city.
You call it DNVR.
Bart, hey, Bart, listen to my radio show tonight. It's called Wisconsin. It's fucking dumb. That's stupid.
It'd be like it's like saying MKE.
I know, but it's not. Okay, whatever. Set that to the side. This week, all the podcasts are ranting. They're like, and the Brewers lost their manager. They lost 2 aces. They lost a closer, and they haven't missed a beat. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, yeah. That's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing for closing in on 6 or 7 years now. And the Cubs have been shitty really every year since 2018. They haven't made the playoffs in a real full year since 2018. And yet before the year, I got to read Cubs writers and Cubs people who are like, it'll be different in Chicago. In Milwaukee, they enjoyed success, but in Chicago, they'll expect it. What the fuck does that even mean?
I get so mad about when we win like a 6-5 game. We don't win shit in the playoffs. It's fine.
I mean, I personally don't love that part of it. I'd like to win some playoff games, but like our operation is better than yours. Suck it. Like and I don't know why it's taking you this long to realize it. And it's not Cubs fans' fault because their media, they don't live in reality either. And I love when you go on Parkins and Spiegel, but they're getting smarter, but partly they don't have a clue. A little bit they don't have a clue. They have a little bit. They're figuring it out as the year goes along, but it's taken them longer than it should. But whatever. That's my Cubs rant. It's my Cubs rant. Whatever.
Well,
have you been watching Brewers games? You don't do local radio, so have you been watching a lot of Brewer games?
I did local radio last night when I was accidentally on during the commercials.
You're on at the same time?
I was on a hot mic on a commercial.
I'm covering my first ever Brewer game at AmFam this weekend / Miller Park. My first time at the Big Boy Park for an actual regular season game.
Oh, so you've covered spring training and never a game at the stadium?
No, but I've never lived close to the stadium. Now I do. I'm like
should 20 I be minutes getting there more? I can get credentialed. Should I be getting there more?
That's a you thing. I don't know.
I just feel like the era, dude. I went there for like 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize like how often I was there.
You just go watch a game. Well, but you pulled audio like that was.
But in 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, really all the way up until COVID, I was doing on deck shows all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So I was at least there before the games.
Do you miss going, or is it that you miss being an established clubhouse presence? You miss being able to walk into the press box and go, "There's Winkler." That's what do you miss?
Of course, that.
Okay, so that's what you meant. Okay, well then, I mean, that's up to you. Do you want to go or not? That's not a hard one.
I don't know that they want me there. I feel unwanted.
God. No, you don't. Stop that. That's. What do you want? You want them to send you a card inviting you? Just go.
I want a message be like, "Hey, notice you haven't been here a while. Why don't you come?"
Who's sending that message, Bart? Wagner?
Grumman?
He's not the type.
Grumman.
Okay, well, I don't know. He literally has a job to do. This is his job.
I don't know, Ken.
I'll be there. My sports director who does our credentials, I could do it myself. I only ask him because he's got the process now. It's just easier. It's not like you do my credential. That's not what it is. But I'm like,
Zach?
Zach?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Zach, I want to go cover the Brewer game on Sunday. I told him this on Sunday. So a week early, I'm like, and he's like, would you let the council thing go? And I'm like, I literally didn't realize it was the Cubs series until like 20 minutes before I texted him because I told you the progression I went through. It's like, maybe I'll go to a game. Are they home? And then I check their home, realize it's the Cubs. It's like, I don't want to go to a Cubs game, but covering it, that's different and free and crucial to the job that I do. I want to present accurate coverage, good observation.
It helps to be at a game. It really does.
It does. It does. You could go.
No, Sunday I got to, we got a birthday party and it's in Mequon, which means we can get a Costco run either before or after.
Oh, where's the Costco?
Must be in Mequon.
I'm off the Woodman's pack.
No, it's in, what's the next one?
Grafton.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm off the Woodman's pack. I'm strictly Walmart, Sendik's, and Piggly Wiggly now. And I'm glad to be done with Woodman's. It's a good establishment. It just didn't fit my vibe. The cheap part I like, but literally everything else I didn't. It's too big. It's too big.
My two stoner buddies in college, they would specifically, like I always went to Festival.
Flex your wealth every time you bring that up. I know.
Or Walmart. I went down to the Walmart on Losey.
Sure.
Not Losey.
South Side, yep. Well, no, not Losey, on Mormon Cooley.
Yeah.
The most beautiful view in a grocery store parking lot you'll ever get. It's across from like huge bluffs.
Yeah.
There's no business being a Walmart parking lot.
I went down there a lot. But then my buddies, where's the Woodmans? On Alaska?
On Alaska, yeah.
Yeah, they'd get high and drive to Woodman's because of one reason. They like that you could park, like you park up and down at Woodman's, not like the other way.
So
it's the only reason they went.
So the parking was the hang up, not
maybe the drive to like be high.
Not the traffic filled. That's a bitch of a drive. 16. Well, it's not. Now it seems like the easiest drive in the world. But if you live in La Crosse, driving to like that Buffalo Wild Wings or the Aldi all the way out towards 90, like that feels like you might as well drive to West Salem if you're going all the way out there. It feels so far away.
When you drive to leave, see, this is different because I'm going, well, you go. I always take 16 coming in, and then, sometimes when I was feeling frisky, I would take 53.
You take the interstate.
And then get on at exit 3 and not exit 5.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't feel natural to me.
No, it feels like you're trying to rig the system, and you might buy yourself 35 seconds, but that's it. It's not natural.
Yeah.
Dude, anyway. I'd kill a human being to be at Moxie's right now. Would you not just do unspeakable things to be sitting at Moxie? No one's listening to this by this point of the night. Would you just do disgusting things to be sitting at Moxie's? I could sit there for 8 straight hours and just drink light beer on Saturday. Oh my God.
Is Nutbush still open?
Mm-hmm. But they rebuilt it, and it's nicer, but it lost its charm.
I just wish there was a portal that I could just like go to La Crosse for like an hour and then be back.
Yeah. Yep.
I wish I could live here and take my walks in La Crosse.
Yeah. You're a walk guy now. I forgot about that.
I am. We're only at 56 right now.
56 steps?
100.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You walked from bed to your basement studio?
The other day I left the studio with 5,000 steps down.
Wow.
I just did laps in the sales pit until 1:30.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
Committed.
I've been going for runs. It's my workout regimen. No one cares.
Well, I did.
You're the only one. It was good. We need Paul's topics.
No, we don't.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Maybe you're right. We don't. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's the best content this channel provides.
These days, it's some of the only content this channel provides.
And now we're taking a month off.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
To what fanfare, I ask you?
Oh. Radio Joe still listens. As long as we have Radio Joe, I think we're good. He's a discerning consumer.
I would still be making pods in July. We're just going to have a vacation like Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, it's been a
He's
great
doing the whole show Thursday as Jiminy.
I'm so amped. Dude, that Bill Hader interview is fucking awesome.
So Willie Mays.
Willie Mays died.
Oh no. Were you fond of him?
Mike Pence. You like Mike Pence? God. I'm going to watch that before my show. Is it bad if tonight for my show I just replay 2 interviews that I did during Bill's show earlier today? That's fine.
Oh, you hosted for Bill? Is he at his house?
No, he's at the Brewer game today.
Oh. Well, when's the game going to end? Oh, you don't go on?
Probably about 4:15. The alternative will not be good. The alternative will maybe... I start to lose my mind around 3 hours and 15 minutes in.
What were the interviews?
Justin Garcia about the draft tonight and about the Bucks offseason. And then Kurt Hogue just had to wait until his daughter took a nap because he's not at the ballpark today.
Oh, I can't play that one.
Why?
Because now you've had a game.
What if I specifically rigged the question so it would be reusable?
Too much work. You get 15. Get 15 out of the game, or a 30. Take you to 4:30.
I probably won't go on until close to 4:30.
All right, then you do the game till 5, and then you go over some of the trades and rumors at 5, and then you play Garcia at
What trades and rumors?
NBA.
I'm so out on the NBA right now. Who's even in this draft?
The one guy, I can't pronounce his name and haven't tried or looked it up.
Alex Sarr, is that the number one guy?
Well, no, it was. That was great. Now it's Zachary R. Zachary R.
All right. I mean, I could talk about Jackson Churio. I think what I'm doing is this is my topic of the day. I was really amped to ask Kurt about this. Is Pat Murphy's responsibility thrust into the Brewers manager's chair and all of a sudden being trusted with the $80 million infant of Jackson Churio? That's insane to me, isn't it? Like, hey, we didn't
you can do a
you to be our
Q&A
manager.
from that. Yeah, you asked him that today?
Who?
Kurt?
I did.
All right, so you're playing Garcia back. Absolutely.
In its entirety.
There's no question about it.
Okay. I played it twice. I did it at 10:30 so I could specifically replay it in the last hour. So this will be the third time it's played.
But the Brewer game was on.
It's true. And not all the affiliates carry the first hour.
5:30, no-brainer, Justin Garcia. And then you're taking the Q&A from Kurt.
One excerpt.
Yeah, and then you're doing a Churio topic. That'll give you 15, maybe some calls.
That's the show's done. All right. That's what I'll do. Thank you for shadow producing. I was on air with Bill. I was on air for Bill today, watching the Brewer game. Willy Adames battles to take a 2-out walk to load the bases. And then I go, oh, here we go. Chance to crack this one open with 2 outs. Jake Bauers walks up to the plate. I was, well, we can wrap this up. Jake Bauers is up next. This guy, and I start bitching about he hasn't done one good thing for the Brewers, and then he hits a grand slam on the first pitch.
4-base Bauers.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose. Well, thank you for the advice. Show should be easy tonight. Should be perfect.
Mine will be very hard. I'll be talking about Alex Sarr for 3 hours.
Get Gary Wolfel on. He's plugged in. He's connected.
Grant, I'll talk to you soon.
See you, Bart.
Thanks for coming into the Winklerverse.